Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Amanda and I love crafting, shopping, decor and makeovers. Thanks for tuning in. I love crafting. I love crafting with wool, so I thought I'd combine those two ideas to create some woolen birthday cards, because I do love to make a birthday card. So this is my 2025 birthday card idea. So I've got some large pieces of card, but they're a little bit thin. So one way to combat that is to just glue two pieces together. You could go three if you want to, but I think two is enough. Obviously, if you have thicker card, you don't need to do that. And I've already made some smaller ones, so I thought I'd make a large one. So this will be an A3 birthday card when I folded it. Now, sometimes when you do stick pieces of card together, you do end up with a little bit of overlap, but that's easily fixed with the paper cutter. So, and in fact, actually, I'll probably trim it a little bit smaller with the paper cutter, so it's not exactly A3, it'll be just a little bit under when I finish trimming around all the sides. So, here is my wool stash. I've got that nice multicoloured piece left. I'll try and use some of that up. That lovely white one with the silver flecks in. And then I've got some other nice colours, so I'll just get to see how they combine together for my layers of cake. I've got quite a few yellow pieces because if you looked at my crafting playlist, I did some coasters and then I turned them into wall art for summer. So I had quite a few yellow. So I'll have to think of some other things to do with that to use up that yellow, or maybe some pom-poms. What I do is I just get my ruler because I'm going to make a layered birthday cake, and I'm just making some dots with a pencil. And I'm just putting them equal distance apart, although I probably will, when I'm actually doing the card, I might add extra layers in, but I'm just creating sort of a few little dots to get me started. So if you don't put the dots in, you could probably still do it, but you might end up with a bit of wobbly, wonky cake. So I thought, try and keep it nice and straight. I'll do some ruler preparation. So when I've got all the dots sorted, that's when I'll need to get my needle so I can make some holes. So I've got my trusty threader. I use this always. It's so easy. You just thread it through the needle, wrap your thread round, and then just pull it through. So never again do I have to wet the end and try and poke it through. So I shall just make my hole and then get threading. So it's just like sewing, and I will just pull the pieces of wool through. So it's a super simple, easy craft idea. And as I say, I'm going with a very simple approach of a layered birthday cake. Again, if you have a look on my crafting channel, I have done some similar cards with a thinner metallic thread, and I've done kind of crisscross design. So this one's quite straightforward because it's just backwards and forwards. I mean, it could possibly be that you could use this for other shapes. So you could still do a Christmas tree like this as well. Just poke the holes through and then pull them along. Now, you could pull your thread through on the back as well and create an identical cake on the back. But I'm just going to, with this one, keep it economical. So I'm going in and coming back. So all I'll have at the back is the outgoing thread and the ingoing thread. So when I've finished threading them, and you can see here, I'm just going in between where the gaps are. So you could have a gap cake, but I thought I'd like it a little bit denser. So I'm actually going in between the original holes. I made the original holes 1/2 centimetre. So I'm just going in between those to make a nice, lovely bottom layer of the cake. And I do love that thread because it changes colour as it goes. So it's a lovely rainbow thread. And I'm just going to tie those together. And then I'll just trim them, and then it's just one line along the bottom. And then I'm just going to get going with the next layer. So I thought I'd use up one of my yellows, as I have lots of yellow, and I'm just making my holes, and again just get going and thread it through. It's quite therapeutic actually. I do enjoy cross stitching and making pom-poms and threading. I do find woolen crafts quite relaxing, and I do love these cards. I have done a few where threading has become a thing, So do have a look on my playlist and see what other cards I have made. And just the same with this card as well. I did 1/2 centimetre dots, and then I just went in between once I'd done them, because I just looked at it and just decided, oh, I think I want this a bit more dense. So you can just make your mind up as you go. And again, just tie the 2 layers together, and then you'll end up with 3 long lines on the back. And then I just realised, actually, if you put some blue tack underneath, it makes it much easier to make your holes, because you can bend the card a little bit. So I don't want to ruin the card too much. So just put the blue tack, and you can just push your needle straight into the blue tack, and it goes through nice and easy. So there's a little top tip for you. And then I'll just get the top layer of the cake done. Okay, so now when you've got your cake done with the wall, you can add your embellishments on. So I've just took a nice thick black pen, and I'm just drawing a cake stand. You could make a cake stand out of coloured card or something, so that's another idea. Or you could just draw a plate, or you don't have to draw anything at all. So this really is optional. And you can do it in any style. If you look, when I show you my finished cards, I've done lots of different styles. I just felt that needed to come across there, because it looked a little bit silly without the top. And then I could draw some candles on the top, but I actually have these 3 candles. I bought a happy birthday letter set, and it had these candles which I used, and then I had these left, so I thought, well, I'll use those up because they'll be perfect for the top of the cake, and it adds a bit of bling. So you could buy these, or, as I say, it's very simple. You could draw your own. You could draw them with a black pen. You could colour them in. And I'm even going to show you another idea in a minute for how you could make the candles. And then I have these happy birthday words. So I'm going to put those onto the top, because I've got loads of room. Just using up some letters, some sticky letters. Now, the happy one is actually almost what's left over. And there was a thin one you'll see on the birthday, and then these ones are sort of like the fill-in pieces. So I thought, rather than using as a separate fill-in, I can actually make the word happy with them. And then the birthday like that, and then I obviously have the filled-in birthday one left for another card. So you can actually use them twice, which is great. I do get these stickers from The Range or Hobbycraft. They're usually like £1 for a sheet, but you can get some really good deals on eBay. I've bought quite a few stickers in bundles from people that are selling off all their crafty bits, and I find them really useful, and you can add little details. So I'm just adding the flower bits there to make those gaps look a bit better, and then I should put some flower embellishments around the side as well. So your stickers can really dress up your cards, and I think it just adds that little touch of professionalism. So obviously I could write happy birthday on. I could use a stencil, that's a possibility, or you could print it out on the computer and stick it on. So, you know, there are lots of different ways you can do it, but I do think it does look a little bit more professional if it's not written on. You know, if it's like a sticker or a printout or a label or something like that. So, and obviously this is a big card. I was able to use like these really big letters at the top. If you had a smaller card, you just get some smaller stickers to create the same effect. Now, I noticed on the back of my card, I had some marks. So I thought I'm going to have to use some stickers to cover those marks up. So I've got these handmade by Amanda stickers that I got off eBay as well. I just ordered, I can't remember how much, a couple of hundred, I think, and it was only about £1.50. You could make up your own stickers and print them out on the printer, but it was just easy enough to get somebody else to do it for me. And they've lasted a long time. And then here, as I said, I'm just covering up a mark. I don't know whether it's a bit of Pritt stick or something, and it was just looking a bit unsightly, and you think you've made this lovely card, you don't really want to ruin it with some dirty marks on, so cue the stickers to make it look like a lovely design. So I think I had another mark as well, so I just covered all the marks with flowers, and then obviously I just need to fill in so it looks more of a pattern, like it's meant to be there. So, this is an easy fix to do if you do get a little mark on. And you can do the same on the inside of a card as well. If you get a mark or something that you want to cover over, just get your stickers involved. And as I say, I got them quite cheaply off eBay as well. And again, they last for absolute ages because there's so many stickers on a sheet, that you never really use them all up. So the back's looking pretty cute. And then inside, as you can see there, just got a little flash. I did decide to fill in. So I got my lovely creative papers and I just cut them down to fit and put them on the inside like inserts. I could have left it because the thread could make a nice little pattern, but I thought I'd cover it over, also make the card a bit more sturdy. So I thought I would do that and just do that for a change really, but it's a nice little look. And then obviously it's a bit hard to write over it, but I could print out or put a mount in the middle to write the message on when I come to use the card for whoever I decide to give it to. And then I've got some large envelopes there that I can use to put them in. And then I just repeated the process with a smaller card just to show you that it can be done on a smaller card as well. Same method, and then I just wanted to do a different method for the candles because I didn't have any of those stickers left, so I just got a very thin washi tape and just stuck those on for the candles, and then I just got some red and orange sequins to stick on the top for the flames. But then, like I said, you could draw them. Again, you could get some creative papers and cut them to shape. There's, the possibilities are endless, and that's what I like about making cards. You don't have to make every single card exactly identical. Each card can have its own little quirk, its little personality, and that's what makes it special. I think that's what makes handmade cards special, is every one you make is different, rather than just carbon copy, printing cards out. So, that's what I'm all about anyway. And so there you go, a lovely card idea. Hope you might give it a try out. And I just stuck a simple happy birthday at the top there. And here's one I've made before. And this one I made a feature of the inside, and I actually drew the candles and the cake base again. I did the same in that one, but a slightly different way of tying them together. So you can make a feature of the thread, or you can completely cover it over with paper, and you can make the cake stands different, or you can not have a cake stand or a plate. As I say, every single card will end up looking slightly different, and you can even personalize it and put the person's name on, all sorts of different things. So there is my 2025 happy birthday card idea. I hope you like it, and I hope it gives you some inspiration for your card making. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. If you haven't, please consider doing so. Give me a like, drop me a comment, because I do love to hear from you. So until next week, take care. Bye bye.